would weighing in at work spur you on to lose the pounds? A new Channel 4 series called Around the World in 80 Ways follows overweight Brits travelling to Japan, where employers measure workers' waistlines to keep their nation trim. Should we do the same to tackle the obesity crisis here?
Radio host Danielle Broadbent says employee weigh-ins are ridiculous, but former Apprentice star Tim Campbell said he'd support them.
Would you, Tim? Why?
I think employers have a duty of care to their employees to make sure they're as productive as possible. And an element of productivity is about absenteeism. And unfortunately, if you're not clear about your weight or your health, we spend a lot of time around wellness, but that should incorporate your physical health as well. And measuring around your waist is a key indicator of health challenges or health problems like blood pressure, cholesterol, all the things that we want. And I want my staff to be as healthy as possible. And that's my duty as an employer.
Danielle, in Japan, they have record low levels of obesity, so they're doing something right, aren't they?
They are doing something right, but I'm a strong believer that if I've not got a 90-centimetre waist, as they want the women to have in Japan, that doesn't mean I'm not productive. I'm a top biller in every company I've ever worked in. So it's a sense of, I think that if you are motivated in your job and you are happy in your job and productive, it shouldn't matter how much you weigh and what size clothes you are. It's all about your mindset. And if you're being pressured to have a monthly weigh-in at work, your mindset's going to be shot at. If I know I've got my appraisal on Monday and I've absolutely smashed my targets this year, but I've put on half a stone, it's like, oh, well, what we're going to do then? Are we going to get fired?
No.
It's ridiculous.
For me as an employer, I want to make sure that I'm doing as much as I can to support all of my employees. So as well as having yoga classes, as well as having health and fitness sessions, one of the key parameters, particularly on the Japanese law, is that I'm measured as an employer to make a percentage of my workforce are fit and healthy.
Yeah.
And I think people can get involved in that in multiple ways. So I think it's a positive thing for employers to work with their employees.
I think it's a positive thing for employees to support health in all aspects, but I don't really think that having exercise classes with your work colleagues is the thing. I mean, I go to the gym. Just because I'm a bigger girl, it doesn't mean that I'm not fit. I swim every morning nearly. It's what I love. But I think there's certain elements that we leave outside the work. I like people to see me at work as, a professional. I don't want them to see me sweating because I'm struggling with the aerobics class that my boss has put on at 8 o'clock.
For some people, it's hard to keep up the habit of going to the gym. And so if you knew that you were motivated to be with people you work with and it was built into your workday, that might help, I don't know.
No, I wouldn't be motivated to go to... I'm going to work to earn money and to I do obviously the radio and stuff, but I also do recruitment, and I'm motivated to find people jobs and to be successful at work in my capabilities and what I've been trained to do, not to try and keep up with the size 6.
Tim, one man was sentenced by his employer to walk 10,000 steps a day as punishment.
I don't think we should see it as punishment. This has got to be a motivating, positive thing. The reality is the stats are unequivocal. If you are healthier, you are more productive. You have less time off work. So I think all of us, particularly as a parent, I want my children to be healthy. We made our children walk around for a mile at school, everything we saw in the news. So why shouldn't it be the same as work? Because you want to encourage... And it's not about fat-shaming. This is all about making sure, are you as healthy as possible? Because I'd like to know earlier than later if my blood pressure was high or if I had high...
Do you do it at your place of work?
We measure ourselves. I don't do it at work. We do it individually and encourage people to go off and do so.
We asked you, should employee weigh-ins be compulsory? Yes, said 20% of you. No, leave the tape measure at home, said 80%.
Quite right.
Exactly.
Thanks both.
Danielle, you're a winner.